Hello and welcome to another U10 mini lesson. Hopefully this will stay under 10 minutes today, but given what we're talking about, probably won't, so bear with me. As always, these are always one take, one shot kind of as we go, so mistakes may happen. We'll just roll with it. Today we're going to talk about note values. And this is really important, especially because I know that some people may be faking it until they're making it or just faking it to skate by. This is going to help you out. Hopefully. It will help you out, I promise. So, also this is from a way of, we were all kind of probably taught the same way. My take's a little bit different on this, so bear with me either way. We'll come out together, take the best of both worlds, and you'll get your own best formula. So the basics are pretty much the same. We're going to be using in this video 4/4 time signature just to make sure we're all we're all on the same level. There are different time signatures that I'll get into on a different video, but for right now everything's just on 4/4. So the first one is a whole note, and one note equals 4 beats, or the entire whole of the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next we've got half notes, which is one note is 2 beats. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's 2 beats in a measure. Sorry, there's 2 notes in a measure for every half note, because it's literally cutting a whole note in half. There you go. Here's where it's a little fun with the language. It's kind of like when you explain all the numbers with ones after them are supposed to be, teen numbers, like 13, 14, but you have to get through 11 and 12 first. It makes sense after a while. So quarter notes. Quarter notes are just like a quarter, 4 quarters and a dollar. There are 4 quarter notes in it's one note, 1 beat. So there'll be 4 in the entire measure. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So far, whole note, 1 note equals 4. Half note, 2 beats. Sorry, 1 note equals 2 beats, and a quarter note, 1 note equals 1 beat. Now we get to the fun part. Also, I should mention, there is no little thing sticking out of here. There is a thing sticking out of here, and a quarter note has the inside filled in. One of the best ways I was explained once, actually in college, of how to tell it's a whole note, it's like you can look through it. That makes sense. This one, it's like a monocle, or the old-fashioned, like Victorian times where they put the thing up, or like the masquerade ball where you'd like have the thing attached to, the one glass. You'd go, yes, that kind of thing. You could use that as an upside down whole or half note if you wanted to. There we go, that'll work. Next one, more note values. So I just want to make sure we're all still on the same page. Still 4/4. This is still a quarter note. However, ask the drumline how beautiful my chicken scratch is. By the way, chicken scratch means not computerized noting. So all handwriting is chicken scratch. So I have turned the quarter note into a slash. Just go with it. 8th notes are going to be 1 bridge, and I'll explain that more in a second, but it's half a beat, and you can fit a max of 8 into a 4/4 measure. That's why they're called 8th notes. 16th notes have 2 bridges. I'll explain more about that in a moment as well. And you can fit a max of 16 into a measure. That's why they're called 16th notes. Or, yeah, basically that's it. So there's for that. And I'll go over everything one more time before we end the video. Now here's the part that gets real fun. Counting. Let's have some fun. Ready? So, quarter note is 1. An 8th note, by itself, is going to be a note with what I like to call a bridge on it. I was originally told it was a flag, but I did not agree with or understand why you'd have a flag on there. My brain works differently, we all know that. So I like to call it a bridge. One of the reasons I like to call it a bridge is because it bridges 2 notes together most of the time. So an 8th note will have 1 bridge on it always, or a bridge attached to it. If there's no bridge, it's probably going to be a quarter note. A 16th note, right here, will have 2 bridges attached to it. So this is going to be a 16th note. It always will have 2 bridges in some form. If it's not attached, it'll be hanging off to the side. The way we count an 8th note is 1 and. The way we count 16th notes are 1, E, and A. I was recently asked by a 7th grader, why? Why do we use those terms to count? And my response was, it's just always been that way. I don't know. That's just how we do it. So, one and for 16th notes, one E and The E is always the second one, as long as it's, in a full. The E is always the second, and is mixed with the and for and always comes after the and. And remember, 16th notes will always have two bridges. The size, the height, and the distance do not matter on this, as the amount of bridges matter on this. And one of the things I like to test middle schoolers with is, does it matter if the 8th note is really, really tall or really, really short? No, as long as there's one bridge. Does it matter if the 16th notes are spread out more than the 8th notes? No, it matters the bridge. If there's two bridges, you've got 16th notes. If there's one bridge, you've got 8th notes. Alright? So, very quickly again, and this time I'll hold it up so you can see it better. Whole note, half note, quarter note. Yay, we're on the same page. We are on the correct page. Alright, so take a screenshot if you want to. Quarter note, 8th note, 16th note. Screenshot if you want to. Note values, /y, /how to count them. Quarter note is 1. An 8th note has one bridge on it, good lord. One bridge on it, and it's always counted as 1 and. A 16th note will have two bridges on it and will be counted as 1 E and a. It does not matter the height or the distance or the shape or the size. If it's one bridge, it's an 8th note. If it's two bridges, it's a 16th note. Alright? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, want me to expand on any of this stuff, now obviously this isn't for every situation, but this is for a lot of situations. But yeah, if you want me to expand on anything or want to request anything, let me know. But until next time, as the person who makes our snare drumsticks says, Scott Johnson, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong, and I'll see you later.